This is the morning of the 19th of February, 2026. The further they dig, the more insane Jeffrey Epstein appears to have been. Clip on InfoWars by Kellen McBreen, MC, capital B-R-E-N, published on the 18th of February, 2026. Title: Epstein files email shows he was growing Angel's Trumpet plant to use for scopolamine drug, taking away free will and wiping memory of victims. You can't make this stuff up. Emails from millions of Epstein files recently released by the DOJ revealed the deceased billionaire pedophile had a nursery grow the Angel's Trumpet plant for him. Like they use it for a drug it produces called scopolamine, or devil's breath. Breaking: Epstein emails confirm he was growing Angel's Trumpet plant that produces the drug scopolamine used in MK Ultra mind control experiments. Scopolamine takes effect immediately, turning victims into zombies, removing free will, wiping memories, and can even kill its victims. Let's listen to this 4-minute clip. It's up on X.
A long time ago, probably 10 years ago, there was a Vice documentary that talked about this plant. It was a drug that was being used in Colombia, and they called it something like devil's leaf or something like that. And it sounded magical, like a sci-fi thing. And that was sort of all I ever heard about it. I remember this documentary, I think it was from Vice that talked about it, or at least talked about it in a Vice documentary. I remember looking it up and being like, holy crap, this is real. And I haven't really heard much about it since, until this article. Jeffrey Epstein emails referred to toxic zombie drug plants that he kept. So there's this plant that if you ingest it, and I believe it's like a nasal thing, if you snort this powder, you lose your free will and you do whatever anybody tells you to do. It's this crazy plant. Yeah, there it is. You can't react. You just do whatever you're told. If somebody says, throw yourself off a cliff, you just do it and you don't think about it. You lose all self-preservation, you lose all consciousness, but you're awake and able to act. But they can get you to do whatever they want. And apparently Jeffrey Epstein was growing this stuff. In one of the uncovered messages, Epstein sends an email asking about his, quote, trumpet plants at nursery. Angel's trumpet plants are extremely toxic and produce a drug called Scopolamine. Crew is yelling in my ear. Scopolamine, which is known to basically turn humans into zombies, wiping them of memory and eliminating their free will. Severe intoxication reportedly may even cause paralysis and death. Even more alarming, scopolamine reportedly doesn't show up on toxicology reports. So you really got to wonder if they were using this stuff and what they've been able to derive from it. I mean, if you have some sort of ancient, Native American peyote-like drug that's it makes people into zombies. Okay, what happens when you take that into a lab and you extract the molecule that causes that and you can tweak it or manipulate it into particulars? Is there a way that you can make them only half free will, to where they're mostly free will, but they always obey certain orders? Imagine what you could do with that substance as a base and what you could derive from it and what that would do in the hands of an international pedophile sex trafficker. That'd be very helpful.
You can't make this stuff up, folks. In one email, Epstein said he met with Vitamin Man and asked a Next Model Management founder, Faith Cates, if her brother would like experimental drugs. Who's Vitamin Man? A message Epstein received discusses the powerful drug, Scopolamine, that eliminates free will, including a link to a Daily Mail article about the substance. You see the emails. Epstein wrote to another person, "Ask Chris about my trumpet plants at nursery." Vice revealed a mini documentary about the dangers drug over a decade ago. Let's listen to this. It's up on Vice. Plays for 35 minutes.
Welcome to Bogota, Colombia. We're here chasing after the most dangerous drug in the world, burundanga. Burundanga is the source of scopolamine, which is basically like the worst roofie you can ever imagine, times a million. You're at the whim of suggestions like, hey, take me to your ATM. Hey, come with me to the hotel room, while you're completely conscious and articulate. Apparently there's a lot of different parts of the plant that are a bit dangerous, possibly a bit fun, depending on what you're into. So we're going to be looking for the tree, talking to people who've had experience with it, and seeing if we can find some of the actual drug ourselves.
Bogota, Colombia.
So the deal with burundanga is that it pretty much eliminates your free will. So you're awake and you're articulate, and to anyone else watching you, it seems like you're perfectly fine, but you've completely lost control of your own actions. So you're at the whim of suggestions, and that's how people take advantage of you. I've heard a bunch of different stories, really running the gamut. Some of them sound like kind of campfire horror stories you're told when you're growing up. Stuff like waking up in a bathtub with an organ cut out and a sign saying you have 5 hours to get to the hospital. We've of course also heard that it's used as a date rape drug. We heard one particularly chilling story where a guy was taken back to his apartment, woke up the next morning in the empty apartment, completely confused as to what happened, went down and said to his doorman, why is my apartment empty? What happened? And the doorman said, well, you brought it out with 2 of your friends last night, all your stuff. You loaded it into a van. And the guy was like, why in the hell would you let me do that? And he was like, because you told me to. So that's kind of the stuff we're dealing with here. Complete elimination of free will while still acting, which is pretty much the scariest shit I can imagine.
La escopola es una droga como ninguna, no tiene sin igual, ¿sí me entiendes? O sea, tú coges con un soplido así, por ejemplo, tú estás aquí caminando y de repente, o sea, tú vas de espalda o vamos a una pinta caminando acá y yo me le paso por ahí que le hago así nomás con eso, nomás con ese destello, el man ya queda burundangueado. Tú esperas cuando ya tú ves el efecto, es que el man empieza como a medio tal, entonces ya tú eres dueño total del man. Entonces tú lo coges, lo encanas y tú te lo llevas para donde tú quieras, parece un niño. Y tú te llévame a tu casa, saca tu chequera, dame tus cuentas de ahorros, tu número de tu tarjeta y tal. Y así, si te pasas de dosis, corre peligro de que la persona...
What he's saying is that, you can have them do anything you want them to do. And I only played 3 minutes and 44 seconds out of a 35-minute and 44-second clip. I'm going to play some more of it, but I want to read this here. It's haunting that a notorious pedophile and human trafficker would be interested in actively growing a plant with proprietarities that allow a person to turn victims into zombies who will do anything without memory of their actions. This guy was really, really fucked up. Let's go back.
Colombia is basically fucked. They have the longest running guerrilla war in all of Latin America. They've essentially been at civil war for 60 years, and really, if you think about it, they've never not been at war since they gained their own independence. Other fun facts about Colombia, definitely not from the Board of Tourism, include the fact that 1 in every 3 kidnappings in the world happen right here in Colombia. And, as we all know, it's the cocaine capital of the universe.
Un gramo de escopola es como un gramo de perico, la misma maricada porque tiene la misma densidad en peso y en presentación, ¿sí me entiendes cómo es? Pero tú con un gramo puedes matar hasta 10, 15 personas. Matar. Por eso es tan extremadamente delicado y no se consigue. Y la información, por ejemplo, que yo sí sé dónde se consigue, porque yo sí sé, hijo de puta, sí sé dónde se consigue todo.
With 1 gram, you can kill 10 or 15 people. I can get it because I know where to get the fucking anything. That's what he's saying.
Now, the borrachero tree, which, by the way, roughly translates to drunken binge tree, is indigenous to the northern Andean region. That includes Colombia and Ecuador, Venezuela. But the scopolamine is really only used by the criminal element here in Colombia.
Que por aquí tiene que haber una, yo miro si de pronto pillamos una. ¿No viste que ahí al lado de César hay una? ¿Sí viste al lado de César hay un árbol? Aquí dice silvestre.
So despite the insane homicide rates, the kidnapping, the narco-trafficking, the civil unrest, and everything else going on in here in Colombia, we can't seem to find a Colombian who's more scared of anything than falling asleep under the borrachero tree. So far, I'm really into Colombia. I showed up, beautiful women ordered me dinner, and it's fantastic. And they ordered a bottle of whiskey to the table. I might not go back.
Espera la canto. Songo le dio morondango. Le dio morondanga. Le hinchan los pies. There's a song with it. I don't know why, but no. It's been around for a long time.
So it's not something that is popularly done down here then.
No, anybody does that? No.
Really?
No.
Not at all.
No, we have cocaine.
We have cocaine, we have grass, we have weed. What, burundanga, why?
Yeah, everybody's aware. Like,
yeah.
todo el mundo tiene cuidado.
You know, it's like you cannot control it at all. You don't need it in a cup or
No,
drink
just to smell it.
To smell it, yeah.
It's very strong.
Yeah,
And if the robbers they use it for that is because they know that you cannot read.
Or a paper. Like I heard this guy that was this old lady came to him. Oh, I don't know where this address is, and this paper, and he just got it like this close,
like this.
and he's on it.
Yeah. So this guy was like really crazy. He was like walking in the hospital like really lost.
Perfect drug
Like
to
you
do
can-
that,
you cannot-
you know?
yeah.
Because the person doesn't
Yeah.
like pass out. They're still conscious,
Yeah.
and they do everything that they tell you to do.
Yeah.
Do you know people that have been given burundanga? Do you have a cousin of a friend or a cousin?
No, I have an uncle.
An uncle.
Yeah.
You told no.
Yeah, it's not a happy story, you know.
No.
But he was a taxi cab driver, and they use this thing.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know the whole story exactly, but it was his last trip. He
He died.
Se llama floripondio, su nombre científico es datura, de ahí se saca la scopolamina, pero también se le dice borrachero y se le dice la planta del diablo aquí en Colombia.
We're here at the Botanical Gardens on the outskirts of Bogota. I'm gonna go see if we can figure out what this plant actually looks like. Those right there are the flowers that we've heard a lot about. You can kind of put those in a tea and you'll hallucinate. You can also take the root down there, put that in a tea, and again, you'll hallucinate. And then there's the cacao, which kind of looks like the mini coconut of sorts. That has the seeds inside.
Me comí pepino y medio. Duré 17 días viajando con otro parcero. Mi parcero se quedó en el viaje. El man hoy en día anda así en la calle. Yo no sé en qué viaje pasar y quedaría el man. Un choker, hijo de puta, tú te quedas en el viaje. Pero el man anda por la calle así. El man mira detrás de la mano. El man no anda así. El man anda... ¿Quién sabe en qué viaje se quedaría el marica, weón? Pero loquísimo. Si analiza la acción, el man como una cortina.
Actually just crack the thing right there, and then this is where the seeds are. I mean, that's where everything comes from, right?
And that's what they used to actually make the scopolamine.
You're in business. The most dangerous drug in Colombia and arguably the world.
El polvo lo sacan del cacao sabanero, que es el fruto. Pero entonces el polvo tiene un proceso químico, ¿sí me entiendes cómo es? O sea, el polvo, no, o sea, para pulverizarlo, convertirlo en blanco y volverlo una pastilla o algo así, se necesita un químico. Es como, por ejemplo, usar éter para rebajar el perico, etcétera. Entonces eso ya es completamente químico.
The coca, at the end of the day, I mean, with its obvious pitfalls and dangers, is recreational.
Yeah.
Whereas there's nothing at all recreational about what can be made with this. It's a distinctly criminal element.
Está, ¿no? Totalmente como un zombie sirviendo a una gente que te da unas órdenes. Lo peor de esta experiencia es haber sido una víctima por haber querido ser buena gente y querer ayudar. Fui involucrada en toda esta violencia en la que vives.
The irony of sorts is that it's beautiful. It's a very nice plant and it smells very nicely. I'm enjoying this right now.
Seems quite Colombian all in all. Very beautiful and very dangerous.
This is pretty much the symbol of Colombia, isn't it? If you didn't know what you were looking for, you'd walk right by and go, that's a pretty flower, maybe I'll pick it and give it to my mom. But that would be a real bad idea.
Es como que pierdes toda tu voluntad, lo que, no sé, que no puedes reaccionar. Que no hay la capacidad de decir, oiga, hay algo muy malo en todo esto.
Puedes conseguir 1 gramo de Scopola. Oscila entre 40 y 50 lucas más o menos, ¿no? Pero con 1 gramo de Scopolamina es un viaje de guapo. Ese es el bar de mi parcero. Ahí detrás de esa camioneta, la camioneta del man, ¿sí pilla?
Bien.
Detrás de la camioneta puedes parar.
Bueno, mi hermano.
¿Cisas?
Ahí nos vemos.
Bueno.
Ahora hay
No me demoro.
ese río. Esa vaina.
No me demoro, carelocos.
Fresco.
¿Cisas? ¿Qué más? Todo bien, man. Y solamente tiene 2 funciones. Tomasear, estudiar o asesinar. ¿Cisas? Ah, no, son 3. Son 3. Cisas y Mona, lo bien mal. Son 3 funciones letales, marica.
¿Sí o no?
Para cochea, ese transmutador de los venenos, marica. Y que la cámara prendida dando vueltas.
En ese trayecto de ir a coger el bus, un hombre me paró y me dijo que si conocía una dirección. Y pues él me dijo que si conocía esa dirección, me mostró el papel. Yo, por la ubicación, estaba muy cerca. Cada vez que yo terminé llevándolo al señor hasta donde él quería, nos tomamos un jugo, que yo creo que ahí es donde me dieron la scopolamina, a través de la bebida.
So now we're here at the National University of Colombia. We're going to go talk to Dr. Miriam Gutierrez, who heads up the toxicology department here and apparently is an expert on scopolamine. I'm going to try and chat with her a bit about what actually happens when someone's exposed to the drug and try and figure out what this whole zombie thing really means.
Si vamos a verlo desde el punto de vista médico, eso sería la sustancia perfecta.
All right, 13 minutes and 45 seconds out of a 35-minute clip. I'm going to watch this at some other time. But it's pretty insane that Epstein would be interested in this for obvious reasons. He could do what he wants with the victims, and they wouldn't have any recollection of having done anything that he wanted them to do. Unfortunately, it can also kill them, which is why they need to get penetrating radar at the Zorro Ranch and at Trump's golf courses. I think they got bodies buried all over the fucking place. I hope I'm wrong, but I don't think so. Do you?